This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Hidilyn, Diaz, Obiena, Esteban, and Congressman Jojo Ang push landmark National Athletes' Rights Protection Act. Eala fired up for Guadalajara 125 Open Showdown. Pureblends set to take over NorthPort franchise, PBA board approval looms. Yu-Ting ruled out of World Championships. Khelif fights back with Court of Arbitration for Sports Appeal. Gender Row rocks women's boxing. In the NBA, LeBron James crowned forever king in new Nike commercial, but the crown sparks debate. And get to know the rising table tennis talents from the 2025 PTTF Intercollegiate and Interscholastic Challenge. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 2nd of September. Now, here's our roundup. This is a game changer for Filipino sports. Olympic weightlifting champion Hidilyn Diaz, pole vaulting star Obiena, and fencing Olympian Maxine Esteban have co-authored House Bill number 4175, also known as the National Athletes' Rights Protection Act, sponsored by Congressman Jojo Ang and officially read in the House of Representatives today. This landmark bill aims to give Filipino athletes the support they deserve, guaranteeing fairness, access to education and life skills, medical and mental health care, and long-term assistance after their careers are over. Key provisions include fair processes in sports federations, education and life skills access, consistent medical and mental health support, long-term assistance after athletic careers, and mandates the crafting of handbooks outlining athletes' rights and procedures. Significance? This is more than legislation. It's an athlete-driven revolution. Hidilyn, and Maxine have gone beyond the sports arena. This time, they have taken a different stand by championing athletes' rights. Eala makes her much-anticipated return to the court as she launches her Guadalajara 125 Open campaign in Mexico on Wednesday, September 3, Philippine time. The 20-year-old Filipina tennis sensation, seeded second in the tournament, faces off against a familiar foe in Ariane Hartono of the Netherlands. Eala holds a dominant 3-0 record over the 29-year-old Dutch star, having prevailed in their previous clashes, from a gritty 3-setter in Roehampton 2023 to back-to-back straight-set victories in Canberra and Bengaluru. Eala enters Guadalajara with renewed confidence after her strong U.S. Open showing, where she made headlines by stunning world number 14 Clara Tauson before exiting in the second round. Alex now sits at world number 75, her highest ranking yet. Now, get ready, major shakeup is about to happen in the PBA. Pureblends Corporation is on the verge of making its grand entrance into Asia's first pro basketball league, as it closes in on the full acquisition of the NorthPort franchise. Sources reveal that the deal has already been settled at 19 million pesos, with only the final stamp of approval from the PBA board standing in the way. If the green light is given this week, Pureblends could immediately take charge and even preside over the much-awaited Season 50 rookie draft on Sunday. The potential new squad won't be starting from scratch either. Pureblends will inherit a solid NorthPort core that reached the Commissioner's Cup semifinals last season. Names like Calvin Abueva, Joshua Munzon, Cade Flores, Evan Nelly, and Fran Yu are all under contract. Add in the rights to Arvin Tolentino and David Defonso, plus the number 4 overall pick in the draft, and you've got a team ready to make noise from day one. Now, if everything falls into place, this will officially close the chapter on the NorthPort Batang Pier, a franchise that's been part of the league since 2012. Now, this is a bombshell development in boxing. Taiwanese Olympic gold medalist, one of the most talked about fighters from the Paris Games, will not be stepping into the ring at the World Championships in Liverpool. Despite reportedly submitting her mandatory sex test results, Taiwan's Boxing Association confirmed that Lin won't be competing. This comes after weeks of uncertainty surrounding World Boxing's controversial new eligibility policy that has already shaken the sport to its very core. Lynn, alongside Algerian champion Imane Khelif, was at the heart of the gender row that rocked the Paris Olympics. Both women triumphed in their respective weight classes even after facing exclusion from previous competitions and enduring a storm of online criticism and disinformation. With World Boxing demanding stricter genetic testing protocols and Taiwan refusing to send Lin without clear guarantees, the stage is now set for even more debate about fairness, inclusion, and the future of women's boxing. Meanwhile, Imane Khelif has filed an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, challenging World Boxing's controversial decision that requires genetic sex testing for athletes. Khelif, who captured welterweight gold at the Paris Olympics, was set to compete at the World Championships this week, but the boxer's entry was blocked after World Boxing enforced its new policy. CAS has confirmed that her appeal is officially underway, though a request to suspend the rule before the tournament was denied. The controversy is nothing new for Khelif. She was barred by the former International Boxing Association in 2023 after failing unspecified eligibility tests, despite both being cleared to fight under IOC rules at the 2024 Olympics. World Boxing, now provisionally recognized to govern the sport at the 2028 Los Angeles Games, announced its mandatory testing policy in May, even naming Khelif in its statement, a move that drew criticism and forced the body to issue an apology. With a gold medal to defend in Los Angeles, Khelif is making it clear this is a fight she intends to win, both inside and outside the ring. Like a scene straight out of a basketball fairy tale, LeBron James emerges in golden majesty as Nike unleashes a hype video ahead of his 23rd signature shoe that has the entire sports world buzzing. In celebration of his 23rd signature model, Nike and LeBron James dropped a 32-second masterpiece titled Forever King, showcasing the four-time MVP wearing a golden crown with a haunting, whispered narration calling him the Chosen One. Fans immediately reacted, calling it one of the wildest ads they've ever seen. Others wondered if it felt like a retirement rollout. Many declared him the GOAT by a country mile. But here's the twist. The NBA community isn't unanimous. Some aren't buying it, citing stat sheets and the old issue of team hopping. One comment read, having a losing record while saying every rival was defeated is craze. So the question still lingers, which city deserves his statue? Yet even as critics admit, LeBron at 40 is defying time. Last season, he averaged 24.4 points, 8.2 assists, and 7.8 rebounds across 70 games. He is a 21-time All-Star, 4-time MVP, 4-time champion, and the NBA's all-time leading scorer. His legacy is sealed, but his story isn't over. After the Lakers' mid-season trade for Luka Doncic, the franchise signaled a shift to a younger core. Still, LeBron isn't leaving the throne. He officially opted into his $52.6 million contract for the 2025-26 season, becoming the first player in history to reach a 23rd year in the league. In the end, the crown remains heavy, the debate loud, but the spotlight, it never leaves LeBron James. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What Kung Fu technique uses the leg to make your opponent lose balance and fall? Can you name it? In Kung Fu, this technique is called a trip. It uses one's leg to hook, sweep, or push an opponent's leg, causing them to lose stability and fall to the ground. Trips are essential in both training and Sanshu competitions. They require precision timing and control to execute safely and effectively. Mastering the trip can give a fighter a strategic advantage in combat. So remember, in Kung Fu, a well-timed trip can turn the tide of a fight and showcase both skill and control. It's time for our off-court buzzer. To say the optics were bad for Polish CEO Peter Zerek is an understatement. The head of paving stone company Drogbrook is under fire after grabbing a signed cap from tennis star Kamil Machrak, a cap that was clearly intended for a young boy in the crowd at the US Open. The incident, caught on video, went viral and turned Zerek into a villain online. On Instagram, Jarek issued a statement saying he would like to unequivocally apologize to the boy who was harmed, his family, as well as all the fans and the player himself, adding that he made a serious mistake. He claimed that in the heat of the moment, he believed the cap was being handed to him for his own sons, who earlier had asked for autographs. He added that it was a painful but necessary lesson in humility for him. Social media was relentless, calling Jarek a thief, a liar, and asking who steals from a child. The backlash had been swift and furious. Now, to his credit, Jarek said he has personally apologized to the boy and his family, promising to support more initiatives for children and youth to make amends. Matchrak, who beat 9th seed Karen Kachanov in the match, also apologized for the confusion. He later met the child, identified only as Brock, and presented him with a new signed hat along with extra gifts. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 2nd of September. When we return, get to know the rising table tennis talents from the 2025 PTTF Intercollegiate and Interscholastic Challenge. So keep it here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. The Philippine Table Tennis Federation have just concluded the 2025 Intercollegiate and Interscholastic Challenge. And we were there to witness all the action and got to meet the rising talents ready to showcase what they can bring to the table.
Since the inception of the event in 2023, the number of participating schools and student athletes have grown tremendously. In this year's competition, at least 45 teams with over 700 players combined tested their skills in the sport. The University of Santo Tomas is the winningest school in UAAP table tennis history, and they were well represented at the PTTF Intercollegiate and Interscholastic Challenge.
All right, we are here right now with Coach Jackson Ke of the University of Santo Tomas, the winningest team in UAAP table tennis history. Coach Jackson, how important is it to have an event like this para masuportahan yung development ng mga bata at syempre yung mga future table tennis stars?
Yes, very important yung event like this. Especially this is once a year event. Maganda siya for preparation for the players for the UAAP seasons, NCAA seasons. So, malaking event siya in such a way na nakakatulong siya sa mga development ng mga bata.
Now, UST has won 31 championships out of the 44 in the UAAP, out of UAAP Season 87. So, grabe, very dominant itong UST. Para sa'yo, Coach Jackson, ano ba yung sikreto for UST that you're able to develop such talent year after year after year?
Yeah, actually, wala naman sikreto. We just have, we always stay humble and always trust God. Yun lang.
Coach Jackson, what can you say about Season 88? Kasi yun yung upcoming season. How have you been preparing your student athletes to defend your championships?
Yeah, as always, we always try our best. We always stay humble and we always practice hard. Yun lang talaga.
Coach Jackson, you've been in table tennis pretty much your entire life. Para sa'yo, what is the biggest thing that you love about the sport of table tennis?
Yun, yung camaraderie. Actually, you can see naman na maraming sumasali ngayon, lumalaki yung table tennis community, and masaya lagi. Yeah.
Coach, do you think that one day we can produce an Olympian in table tennis? Because that's one sport where I feel and many feel that Filipinos can really excel.
Yes. Before, nagkaroon na tayo ng si Yanyan Dariba, Olympian, then Janjan Naire. Definitely, in the coming future, magkaroon tayo ng Olympian for table tennis.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Jackson. Thank you.
Also present was Ateneo de Manila University, who saw this competition as an opportunity to gauge their level of play as they prepare for the upcoming 88th season of the UAAP.
We're here with Coach Hali Crisostomo of Ateneo de Manila University Table Tennis. Coach Hali, how has the turnout been so far for you guys here in preparation for UAP Season 88?
I think the tournament was a great gauge of our skills. So right now we know where we're at, especially since we were able to play against opponents that we will be facing in our UAP tournament. So I think this is a great preparation for my team. It's a wake-up call that we have to work harder and stay focused.
Coach, this is the third year that this type of tournament is taking place. It has grown in number every single year since its inception. How important is it for a team like Ateneo to have these kinds of experiences to excel in your main tournament?
You know, I'm really happy that the tournament has continued to grow. Each year, more and more schools are joining. Schools from different competitions like UAP, SQA, and even schools from the provinces are joining. So it's a huge boost for our experience and exposure that we get to play against different players with different styles. So I think this is a great venue and opportunity to prepare and grow more for my team.
One of the bright young stars in the country, Angel Laude of De La Salle University, took home 2 championship trophies, winning the college women's singles event and college women's team event Division 1.
We are here right now with one of the best players in the country, Angel Laude of De La Salle University. Angel, 2 championship ang napanalunan mo dito. Kamusta naman ang pakiramdam?
Of course po, super happy po kasi last year natalo kami ng UST. So ngayong year yung comeback namin. And also, sa singles event ko, talo din ako last year na championship. So yun, medyo masaya kasi okay yung results this year.
In the college women's singles event, Angel prevailed over UST's Althea Gudez, whom she faced again in the deciding match of the team event. Their matchup turned out to be the most exciting game of the entire tournament.
Alam mo, I had a chance to commentate on your game, Althea Gudez ng UST. Grabe yung naging laban nyo. How hard was it competing against her? Naglaban kayo sa singles finals last year. Yesterday, during day 2 of the event, nag-champion ka. Tapos nagharap ulit kayo sa deciding match sa team event. Kamusta naman yung laban yung dalawa?
Si Goodness po kasi magaling talaga siya. Ano siya, former junior siya and sa senior, nasa top 7 din siya. So, every time na naglalabang kami, mahirap talaga, mahirap lusutan yung bola kasi super tatag niya and sa rally, super consistent din niya. So, yun na lang, patibayan na lang talaga kami. So, yun po.
Teaming up with Angel in the doubles match was Shelo Bernaldez, who was inspired by the leadership of the national team athlete.
Okay, yung teammate mo naman, si Bernaldez. Doubles kayo, nakita ko talagang yung teamwork nyo sobrang solid. Every serve, meron kasi nasabi sa kanya talking about, ano ba yung pinag-uusapan nyo doon? Ako, I can only imagine.
Yun, sinasabi ko lang na relax lang siya, huwag siyang ma-pressure and ilaro niya na lagi yung laro niya para malabas talaga niya kung anong laro niya. So pinapakalma ko lang siya most of the time and ginaguide ko siya kung ano yung mga nakikita ko na dapat namin gawin.
We're here with Shelo Bernaldez of De La Salle University. Shelo, kamusta naman? Champion kayo sa team event. It was a great match, especially yung doubles nyo ni Angel.
Yes. I'm super happy po ako na napanalunan po namin ni Angel yung doubles po namin. Kasi very crucial po kasi yun. Kasi if natalo po kami doon, laglag na po talaga, second lang. So buti naman po at napanalunan po namin ni Angel po yung doubles.
Napansin ko, medyo intense and lalo na every time na nagsoserve, may mga sinasabi sa'yo si Angel. Kamusta naman yung teamwork nyo and communication? And, you know, did you prepare for that na magiging ganon yung sitwasyon?
Actually po sa doubles, very important po talaga yung communication kasi if hindi po namin gets yung isa't isa, hindi rin po mag-work yung doubles eh. So kailangan talaga may communication. So that's why habang nag-game po kami ni Angel, nag-uusap po kami, anong gagawin po namin, kunwari ganito po service namin, ano po yung balik sa amin, yung mga ganun po yung sa namin ilalagay. Yung parang kahit na may coach po kami, may sarili pa rin po kaming diskarte. Ganun po.
After nyo manalo ni Angel sa doubles, syempre, si Angel na lang against Gudez in the singles. So, kinabahan ka ba para sa kanya or confident ka that she would come out with the win?
Syempre po, confident naman po kasi Angel Laude na po eh. Pero andun pa rin po yung dapat hindi pa rin magkumpiyansa kasi po malakas pa rin po si Angel Gudas po.
Okay, Shelo, lastly, malapit na ang UAAP Season 88. How important is it that you had this preparation, you had this experience in a high-level tournament like this para maging mas ready pa ang Lasal sa UAAP?
Actually po, very helpful po talaga to na tournament, sir. Kasi po, dito po namin matetest kung hanggang saan lang kami or ano yung mga areas kung saan po kami pwedeng mag-improve, kung saan po kami, saan yung strength and weaknesses po namin. Malalaman po namin yan dahil lang po sa tournament ito po.
Now na na-experience mo to, what can we expect from Lasal and of course from you, Angel Laude, in UAAP Season 88?
From last season kasi nawala kami sa podium. So, hopefully makabalik kami na knowing na mas malakas yung team namin ngayon.
All in all, it was a fun weekend for all the student athletes involved as they gained valuable experience and new friendships in the field of table tennis. And here is the list of all the winners.
Up next, the pressure builds in Guadalajara. Alex Eala's confidence is soaring, but new challenges await. Can she keep the fire burning, or will the field strike back? Lock in. The road to the title just got real. So keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Now, we're talking a bounce-back tour for Alex Eala. She's heading to Mexico, stepping onto the Grandstand Caliente in Guadalajara for her first match since the US Open. And who's across the net? A name that feels like deja vu. Arian Hartono. So let's set the table. Eala, still just 20 years old, is ranked world number 75 and comes into Guadalajara as the number 2 seed. That's big, especially because she's coming off the US Open, where she made Philippine tennis history. Now remember that Clara Tauson upset? Yeah, that was a legit top 15 scalp. But here's the thing, she didn't quite sustain the momentum. Cristina Boxa sent her home in the second round. So this Guadalajara trip, it's about proving consistency, about showing that she can rebound quick. Now let's talk about Hartono. She's 29, ranked world number 187. And here's the wild part. She turned pro back in 2016 when Alex was basically still in grade school. Hartono has done her damage mostly on the ITF circuit. 3 singles titles, 21 doubles titles, and she's also reached 3 challenger finals in doubles, but never quite got over the hump. Career high, number 135 in singles. But right now, she's trying to hang on in the top 200. So here's the stat that jumps out. Alex has faced Hartono 3 times before. The head-to-head, 3-0. Dominated by Eala. And the most recent one, in Bengaluru this year, it wasn't close. 6-1, or sorry, 6-2, 6-1. And before that, in Canberra, another straight set sweep. Basically, this matchup has been one-way traffic. So the real question here isn't if Alex can beat her. It's whether Alex can dominate again and use this match as a statement that the US Open wasn't a one-off moment. This Guadalajara 125 isn't just a filler. For Alex, it's about momentum heading into the last stretch of 2025. After Mexico, she's flying to Brazil for the Sao Paulo Open. These are the kind of tournaments where a player in her spot, a top 75, maybe sniffing top 50, needs to bank wins, confidence, and points. Because the leap from Philippine history maker to mainstay on the WTA Tour is all about stringing weeks together. And matches like this one against Hartono They're building blocks. So stay locked in as the action heats up in Guadalajara. Alex Eala is on a mission, but Arian Hartono isn't backing down. Here's your match breakdown for the round of 32. And that's a wrap on our Guadalajara spotlight. Alex Eala and Arian Hartono might not sound like headline material, but trust me, this is the kind of match that tells us what Alex's next step really looks like. She's already shown she can shock the world on the big stage. But Hartono wants to flip the script. The pressure is high, the court is ready, so tune and lock in. And as always, keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From one of the sport's most consistent and strategic drivers who became the first Mexican in over 50 years to win a Grand Prix, Sergio Chico Perez once said, "I have nothing to prove. I just want to enjoy racing again." So with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.